My dear friends, let me start by asking you something very simple. Have you ever noticed how a mobile phone, when used carefully, becomes smarter every day, but a human being, if not careful, can become more confused every day? Why does this happen? Because technology improves with updates, but life improves with habits. And today I want to speak about 9 daily habits, not heavy, not complicated, but small, powerful practices that can completely transform a woman's life from the inside out. My dear friends, let me begin with a simple thought. Every day when we wake up, we are given a choice, not a big choice, not a dramatic one, but a quiet choice. The choice of how we will live this day. Most people think life changes because of big events, but in reality, life changes because of small habits repeated daily. Especially in a woman's life, these habits quietly shape confidence, peace, strength, and purpose. The first thing to remember is this: the way you treat yourself sets the standard for the world. If you begin your day with gratitude, something beautiful happens inside. Even if problems are waiting outside, gratitude reminds you that you are stronger than the problem. A thankful heart does not deny difficulties, but it refuses to be crushed by them. Another important habit is protecting your inner peace. Not everything deserves your reaction. Some things deserve silence, some deserve patience, and some deserve to be ignored. Peace is not the absence of chaos, it is the ability to stay calm even when chaos is present. When a woman learns this, she stops wasting energy and starts gaining clarity. One more habit that changes everything is the way you speak to yourself. The mind listens carefully. If your inner voice is harsh, life feels heavy. If your inner voice is kind, life feels manageable. Encourage yourself the way you would encourage someone you love. Self-respect begins with self-talk. Discipline is another quiet superpower. Motivation may visit you occasionally, but discipline walks with you daily. Doing small things consistently, waking up on time, completing responsibilities, taking care of health, slowly builds confidence. Confidence is not loud, it is calm and steady. Taking care of the body is also an act of self-respect. Eating mindfully, moving regularly, and resting properly are not luxuries, they are necessities. A peaceful mind needs a healthy body to support it. When the body is neglected, the mind struggles. Equally important is learning to let go. Holding on to anger or resentment does not punish the other person, it punishes you. Forgiveness is not about approval, it is about freedom. When you let go, you make space for peace. Silence is another daily practice that brings wisdom. Even a few minutes of quiet reflection helps the mind slow down. In silence, answers appear naturally. Growth happens when we listen more and react less. Comparison is one habit that must be unlearned. Everyone's journey is different. When you focus on growth instead of comparison, confidence replaces insecurity. Progress becomes personal. Finally, end each day with reflection. Ask yourself gently what you learned today and how you can improve tomorrow. Life becomes meaningful when learning never stops. Remember, strength is not built in one day. It is built daily, patiently, quietly. When habits change, life follows. My dear friends, many people wait for life to become perfect before they become peaceful. But peace does not arrive when everything outside is fixed. Peace arrives when something inside is understood. Every woman carries immense strength within her, but that strength is revealed only through daily awareness, not occasional inspiration. One of the most powerful daily practices is learning to pause. Life constantly pushes us to react quickly to messages, opinions, expectations. But a thoughtful pause gives us power. When you pause before reacting, you choose wisdom over impulse. A calm response often achieves what loud reactions never can. Another quiet habit that transforms life is living with intention. When actions are conscious, even ordinary tasks feel meaningful. Cooking, working, caring, resting, everything becomes lighter when done with awareness. Intention turns routine into purpose. There is also great strength in learning to accept imperfections, your own and others. Many women put unnecessary pressure on themselves to be perfect in every role. But perfection is exhausting and acceptance is healing. Growth does not require perfection. It requires honesty and effort. Learning to say no is another form of self-respect. When you say yes to everything, you slowly say no to yourself. Boundaries are not walls, they are doors that protect your energy. A balanced life begins when priorities become clear. Faith, whether spiritual or moral, also plays a vital role in daily stability. When the mind becomes restless, faith becomes an anchor. It reminds us that not everything needs to be controlled. Trust reduces anxiety. Surrender brings relief. A powerful habit is choosing kindness even when it is difficult. Kindness does not mean tolerating disrespect. It means responding without bitterness. A kind heart is not weak. It is emotionally strong. It takes courage to remain gentle in a harsh world. Another daily practice is learning from discomfort. Challenges are not interruptions to life. They are part of life's training. Every difficulty carries a lesson. When you stop asking, "Why me?" and start asking, "What is this teaching me?" growth begins. Digital discipline is also essential today. Constant exposure to screens drains mental energy. Creating time away from noise helps the mind breathe. Silence restores clarity. At the end of the day, reflection brings maturity. Instead of judging yourself harshly, observe yourself honestly. Celebrate small improvements. Forgive small mistakes. Tomorrow improves when today is understood. Remember, life does not change through pressure, it changes through practice. When a woman commits to small, positive habits daily, she does not just improve her life, she becomes a source of calm, strength, and inspiration for everyone around her. My dear friends, we often underestimate the power of what we do every single day. We think transformation requires dramatic change, but life usually improves through quiet consistency. Just like a river shapes a stone not through force, but through flow, daily habits slowly shape our character, confidence, and inner peace. One of the most important practices is learning to be present. Many people live physically in one place and mentally in another. When the mind is always ahead or behind, peace disappears. Presence brings calm. When you give full attention to the moment, even ordinary experiences become meaningful. Another habit that brings emotional strength is learning to manage expectations. Expectations are useful, but attachment to outcomes creates stress. When effort becomes sincere and results are surrendered, work becomes joyful. A woman who understands this stops blaming herself for things beyond her control. Daily self-respect is also expressed through routine. Sleeping on time, maintaining order, and keeping promises to yourself build trust within. Self-trust is the foundation of confidence. When you trust yourself, fear loses its grip. A gentle but powerful habit is choosing words carefully. Words can heal or harm. Speaking less but speaking meaningfully creates impact. Silence, when chosen wisely, communicates maturity. Thoughtful speech reflects inner balance. Another daily discipline is emotional awareness. Emotions are visitors, not permanent residents. When sadness arrives, observe it. When anger appears, understand it. Suppressing emotions creates heaviness, but understanding them creates freedom. Emotional intelligence is strength. Service is also a habit that elevates life. Doing something small for someone else without expectation brings inner fulfillment. Service shifts focus from what is missing to what can be given. Giving brings abundance. Gratitude at difficult times is a sign of spiritual maturity. It does not mean enjoying pain, it means trusting growth. Gratitude during challenges builds resilience. It teaches the heart patience. Learning to forgive yourself daily is equally important. Many women are kind to others but harsh with themselves. Mistakes are teachers, not labels. Self-forgiveness allows progress. Another habit that nourishes the soul is connecting with higher values through prayer, reflection, or silence. These moments recharge the spirit and restore balance. When the inner world is aligned, the outer world feels manageable. Before sleeping, slowing down the mind creates peace. Releasing the day, letting go of regrets, and trusting tomorrow brings rest. Sleep becomes deeper when the heart is lighter. Remember, strength is not loud, growth is not rushed. A woman who commits to mindful daily habits becomes calm, resilient, and grounded. Life may not become perfect, but it becomes purposeful. And that makes all the difference. My dear friends, many people believe that strength means never falling apart. But real strength is learning how to gather yourself again gently and patiently every single day. Life does not ask us to be extraordinary all the time. It asks us to be sincere and consistent. And consistency is built through habits that quietly shape our inner world. One powerful daily practice is learning to slow down. The world celebrates speed, but the soul thrives in calmness. When life feels overwhelming, slowing your breath, your thoughts, and your actions brings clarity. Slowness is not laziness, it is awareness in motion. Another habit that transforms emotional health is honest self-acceptance. Many women carry guilt for not being enough, not perfect enough, not productive enough, not strong enough. But growth does not begin with self-criticism, it begins with self-understanding. When you accept yourself As a work in progress, pressure turns into patience. Daily responsibility also builds dignity. Doing what needs to be done, even when no one is watching, creates inner strength. Small acts of integrity, keeping promises, speaking truthfully, respecting time slowly build character. Character is what remains when applause disappears. Emotional balance is another essential habit. Instead of reacting to emotions immediately, learn to observe them. When emotions are understood, they lose control over you. Calm awareness gives choice, and choice gives freedom. A very powerful practice is choosing gratitude even in uncertainty. Life will not always provide clear answers, but gratitude helps us trust the journey. When the heart is thankful, fear loses its dominance. Gratitude reminds us that we are supported even when outcomes are unclear. Another daily habit that brings stability is nurturing meaningful relationships. Listening fully, speaking honestly, and offering patience strengthen connections. Healthy relationships are not built on perfection, but on understanding. When relationships are nourished, emotional energy increases. Self-care is also an act of wisdom, not selfishness. Resting when tired, asking for help when overwhelmed, and creating healthy boundaries protect long-term strength. Burnout is not a badge of honor. Balance is. Faith in a higher purpose provides emotional grounding. When life feels uncertain, faith brings reassurance. It teaches us to do our best and release the rest. Trusting something greater than ourselves reduces anxiety. As the day ends, reflection becomes a mirror. Instead of judging yourself harshly, observe gently. Notice progress, not perfection. Learn from mistakes without carrying shame. Remember, life becomes lighter when habits become wiser. A woman who commits to daily inner growth becomes calm in chaos, gentle in strength, and steady in purpose. Such strength does not demand attention, it naturally earns respect. My dear friends, life often teaches us lessons quietly. It does not always arrive with loud signals or dramatic moments. Most of the time, it speaks through repetition, through what we choose daily, especially when no one is watching. These choices slowly shape our mindset, our resilience, and our inner strength. One of the most valuable daily practices is learning to trust yourself. Many women seek validation outside because they have not yet learned to listen inside. When your decisions come from clarity rather than fear, confidence grows naturally. Trust is built when actions align with values. Another powerful habit is emotional honesty. Suppressing emotions does not make them disappear, it only makes them heavier. Acknowledging feelings without judgment allows healing to begin. Emotional awareness brings maturity, not weakness. Patience is another quiet strength. In a world that demands quick results, patience teaches endurance. Growth often happens beneath the surface before it becomes visible. Trusting timing reduces frustration and preserves peace. A daily commitment to learning also strengthens the mind. Whether through reading, reflection, or observation, learning keeps perspective fresh. Wisdom grows when curiosity remains alive. Choosing humility is another habit that protects inner peace. Humility is not thinking less of yourself, it is thinking of yourself less. When ego softens, relationships improve and stress decreases. Humility allows growth. Service adds meaning to daily life. Helping without expecting recognition fills the heart. When you serve, you shift focus from lack to contribution. Contribution creates fulfillment. Another important practice is digital balance. Constant exposure to information exhausts the mind. Creating space from screens allows clarity to return. Silence restores focus. Forgiving others daily prevents emotional burden. Carrying resentment drains energy. Forgiveness is a decision to move forward without bitterness. Peace grows when the heart becomes lighter. Self-discipline in thoughts is as important as discipline in actions. Negative thinking patterns can quietly sabotage happiness. Gently redirecting thoughts towards positivity improves emotional health. Thought awareness shapes reality. Ending the day with acceptance creates calm sleep. Releasing what could not be changed and appreciating what was learned brings closure. Sleep becomes restful when the mind is free. Remember, transformation is not dramatic, it is deliberate. A woman who practices mindful habits daily becomes emotionally strong, mentally clear, and spiritually grounded. Life may still bring challenges, but she faces them with grace. And that grace becomes her greatest strength. Remember this, my dear friend Sai. A woman does not become strong overnight. She becomes strong daily through small choices, repeated with love and awareness. You don't need to change your whole life today. Just change one habit and let tomorrow take care of itself. Because when habits change, destiny quietly follows. Thank you. Stay mindful, stay kind, and most importantly, stay true to yourself.